hello to those of you who feel called to this reading in particular. My goal is to give you a message that the universe has for you at this very moment. The first thing we're going to do is shuffle out one card from the Nightmare Before the Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know why I said that. The Prisma Visions Tarot, to look at the context or the general energy of this message. If you want to be a part of the community that I'm trying to create, subscribe and hit that notification bell. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram. Links are in the description. So, oh, I like this. The Wheel of Fortune with the solar plexus and I believe Jupiter. Correct me if I'm wrong. Whether I'm wrong or not, I'm going to read that as Jupiter. But I had this reading on TikTok that I did recently that actually might be relevant for you. And I am going to try to link that in the description. If it doesn't work out, you might not see it. But I just saw 111. With the Wheel of Fortune, this is talking about your karma. There's definitely a message here about how you create your own karma, or you have at least some power in creating your own karma. There is a need to hold yourself accountable. I'm feeling something about that. Or if you're on that journey of trying to hold yourself more accountable, definitely a little nudge to keep going. But yeah, I'm also feeling something here about strength, patience, allowing the wheel to turn instead of trying to turn it yourself. It's like, I feel like the wheel, it belongs to the universe and you can't turn it because it doesn't belong to you. You know, it's not your mechanism, I guess you could say. I don't know, that's just what I'm feeling. But the 10 as well is a reminder that all of your spirit guides, whether it's the universe, your ancestors, whatever, past loved ones maybe, they're there to support you and they're available for you to communicate with them at any moment. And I just now noticed that there is a card on the table. I feel like that was driving someone crazy. But with the solar plexus, intuitively, I feel it's about definitely a more stepping into your power type of energy. There's a bold Aries type of energy, I feel. The Emperor may be significant. Jupiter as well, that's more expansive. I'm picking up on the 3 of Wands, growing and expanding as a result of that growth, that inner growth. But now I'm going to use these Magical Dog Tarot cards to look even deeper into this message. And the first card that I'm going to use is the one that was on the table over here, which is the 3 of Swords. That's really interesting. Right off the bat, the universe wants to talk about feelings, a feeling misunderstood and abandoned kind of feelings. There might have been people in your life that aren't available or weren't available to love you in the way that you deserve. There's definitely this higher knowing that you have about how, the reality of the situation, because you're not taking it personally. And I think once you can fully not take it personally, fully accept the situation, that's kind of like, mission complete. In the grand scheme of life, part of mission complete, but you get the message that I'm trying to convey here. For your next card, oh, that's so interesting. We have the 9 of Swords. I feel called to tell you that the last reading might be relevant for you. This 9 of Swords, there's very anxious, doom and gloom type of energy in this reading with these 2 cards. I'm picking up on depression and very deep fear. It really depends on who's watching this, on how deep those fears are anymore. But these cards are basically saying that this is the path that you're walking, trying to overcome a heartbreak, accept a difficult situation, a difficult ending, and to be able to remain the calm in the storm while the storm is passing by, instead of, being paranoid and worried if this storm is going to hurt you. I feel like maybe some older generations might get this. But just the fact that I have this neighbor, and she's been in tornadoes before, and her perspective was so interesting to me, because she just was like, there's nothing, if a tornado hits and you get hurt, there's nothing you can do. And yeah, it's not butterflies and rainbows and easy to talk about in reality, but accepting things that you can't control is worth the day-to-day peace, when most of the time challenging challenging kind of things are happening. Maybe every day is a challenge, but I'm talking about challenging things that feel like they're going to push you over the edge. That's interesting. With these fears and these anxieties, if you haven't learned a lot about yourself, your purpose in the world, and those kinds of things already, you definitely will. This heartbreak, seeing things for what they are and not taking it personally is so, so, so important for you to heal and move on from this wisdom. Yeah, that completely distracted me. But we have the Six of Pentacles, or Six of Earth. It's interesting. Something here about give and take amidst the chaos, which I feel like this is a lot about the relationships around you and how difficult it is to gauge, am I giving too much? Are they giving me too much? Am I giving enough? Like, just trying to understand give and take, learning about that. This definitely feels like the cards down here are going to be a lot more telling, because it feels like I'm being laid out some sort of story here, and then looking deeper into it in the second row. Yeah, we have the Tower. Okay, I'm feeling that you are still in this Tower energy, for sure. There is so much fear here, but also so much hope and optimism with the Wheel of Fortune, and I really like that balance. Like, I'm feeling how anxious and scary these times are, is how, fortunate and fruitful things will be. It's really interesting. I just heard something about save yourself. So definitely be careful with who you give to. Make sure you're not being taken for granted or taken advantage of. And the best way to know is, like right now, you should be focused on your self-worth, using your voice, standing up for yourself, and setting boundaries with things that just drain you and make this heartache feel worse. I definitely feel called to talk about not rushing into, or getting attached to at the least, I would say, relationships, or just things in life in general, because nothing is constant except for change. And I definitely feel this, need for a change in perspective, where you understand that life is not always going to be easy or always going to be challenging. It's just a little bit of both. And finding acceptance for it all, rather than just the easy good times, is going to bring you a lot of peace, a lot of strength, and honestly a lot of courage and inspiration and motivation. I wouldn't be surprised if after these scary times, the things that got better, like for example your career, I feel like you have a lot of potential to create, to be some sort of creator, to tap into your creativity. Maybe an influencer or something like that. Your story and your voice. Healing from this is so, so, so important, and you really need to know that you have a lot more impact on people than you realize. Like, you give yourself your fortune, you are helping everyone else have their own. You know what I mean? Three of Pentacles. Oh, that's so interesting, clarifying the Three of Swords. The Three of Pentacles does bring a building up, hopeful star kind of energy. So with this heartbreak, it feels like you're breaking things down, especially with this Tower here, to build things back up. There's definitely something here, maybe a partnership, or, and when I say partnership, it can be with like a person, like, you know, a human, or, you know, your faith, something like that. Co-creating, working with someone or something. I just feel a building type of energy, and this tells me to share the message that you should stay patient with yourself, the universe, the experiences that it puts you through. 111. The universe is just trying to show you something, teach you something, and you know, if it's hard to communicate with the universe, it's kind of telling that, like, it's hard for you to communicate with others. So I definitely feel like there's something really deep here that you need to mend, and that is like a relationship with your faith, you know, or just believing that there is more than now, or something like that. The Knight of Wands. I think this Knight of Wands is asking you to tap into your inner child, that sense of adventure and that courage to explore and, you know, to be vulnerable, for sure. It's like this energy is very inward, and, you know, the energy is very concentrated, or if that's the word. I don't know. Like, this card is more afraid and doubtful and fearful, while this one is more courageous and has more trust and faith within themselves and their environment. Three of Wands. I'm not sure if I said that was significant, but maybe. What's really going to help you grow is giving to yourself, and that growth is definitely going to turn into expansion. You might have some gifts that you might not be aware of, because fears are holding you back and blinding your vision. Like, it's hard for you. I'm gonna get a drink of water. It just needs to be more unconditional love for yourself, patience, and being focused on growing from these fears and turning it into passion and potential and all that good stuff. I'm glad these cards are just falling everywhere, but I did see the Knight of Swords among some other cards, so it's definitely pointing out the more courageous side of your inner child, and that coming out to help bring yourself a lot more, to change your karma. The Fool. That's really interesting with the Tower. There's definitely a big beginning coming from this upheaval. And it's definitely really good. I think you're going to come out of this feeling a lot more confident. And you're just going to have so much faith and trust within yourself. Seeing 222. That nothing can stop you from creating the changes, not only that you want to see in yourself, but like also in the world. Also, Irish heritage or Ireland that's sticking out, but now I want to use the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot before ending this reading to see what about it the universe wants to highlight. Okay, we have the High Priestess. Wow, this is definitely a message or a sign to follow your inner voice, to just trust yourself and believe in yourself, for sure. You need to take a closer look at your doubts. Oh my God. The Knight of Swords. Yeah. It's like it's good to be courageous, but your decision making, seeing the Queen of Swords. We also have the King of Cups. Your decision making. It's good to be courageous, but not when your decisions are self-destructive and give you less than you deserve. Drinking could be indicated here. I think this scary, mess of what's going on is teaching you how to listen to your inner voice more and how to trust your instincts, and it's also improving your judgment and bringing you a lot more peace. I hope that reading was relevant or helpful in some way. If you liked it, hit the like button to show me that. That's the best way to support me. If you want to offer more support, you can donate through the thanks button directly below the video. Absolutely not obligated, but always very much appreciated. Feel free to comment if you have any comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around.